Hi everyone, in this video we're going to walk you through some of the basic navigation of the ARM system, just to get you started as a new user. The first thing we'd like to point out is that Google Chrome is the preferred browser. If you do not yet have Google Chrome, we recommend that you take a moment to just get that set up and then continue the training. So, assuming that you are logged into the ARM system, you'll notice in the top right hand corner there's a little gear icon. This is a very important little button, especially for new users. If you select the gear icon, the top option is to contact support. So if you need assistance from a live person, if you want to browse through how-to articles, you'd be able to select contact support and get to our Community Success Center, which we'll touch base on a bit later on in the training. The second option is to log out of the ARM system so you don't leave it open. In the top left-hand corner of the screen, you'll notice that there are 3 lines here. We refer to that as a hamburger icon. If you select it, this will open up the menu options from the left-hand side of your screen. Now, depending on how you've been permissioned by your program administrator, you'll have access to different modules like dashboards, clients, navigation, events, resources, housing, etc. Let's go back over to our active client screen. On this screen, we have active, inactive, and admissions. We like to think of these as tabs inside of a file folder. So here, because I've defaulted to my active list, I can see all of my active clients that are currently in my demo application, the Rat Park. If I was to select inactive, both Linguini and Mini have been discharged from my program, so they are listed in my inactive list, and I can still access their information if needed. And the third tab is my pre-admissions queue. So any clients that have filled out my pre-admissions form online, they will come into this queue here where I can review some of this information and decide whether or not to admit or to not admit them into my program. We're going to come back over to the active screen. At the very top, just above those tabs, you'll notice that there is a search bar. Here you can easily begin to search through client records by typing in keywords, which it will go and look for, such as first name, first and last name, reference number, the program that they're in, location, etc. So if I wanted to search by Peter, for example, it will bring up any of the information that matches and says that there is Peter inside of the file. Here, because his name is Peter Griffin, I have 1 record that was displayed. I'll close that search. Just next to the search bar, you'll notice that there is 3 lines here. These are our filter options. Instead of searching for one specific thing, you can also filter down by things like caseload or location, referral source, etc. Let's say I just wanted to see the clients that are currently enrolled in my Colette's House location. I would filter it by Colette's House, and here you can see I have Mickey and Wiley that are currently assigned to Colette's House. I'm going to close that filter option and return back to the active client screen. The next thing to point out is at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll notice that there is a teal plus button. This is our action item. And because we're currently on our active client screen, the action available to us is to add a new client. As I navigate throughout the ARM system, that action button might change, but it's usually located in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. So here you can see, because I selected admissions, my action item would be to add a new pre-admissions client, which would take me to the pre-admissions form, which is why there's a right arrow, where I can fill this information in, and it would display it over in the admissions queue here. I'm going to return back over to the active clients list. One of the last things we'd like to point out is how to access both the client's records and to add notes. So if I was to select Jessica Rabbit just one time, not double click, you'll notice that a menu option appears from the right-hand side here. This gives us some details, just summary details, including demographics, phone number, program, location, caseload, etc. If I was to select the Notes tab, here's where I would be able to review previous notes or to add new notes to Jessica Rabbit's file. Now, Jessica, as a client, would never see these notes. These notes are meant internally for your program, and Jessica doesn't get to view them. So here, if I wanted to add a new note, we would just type in the information we're looking to add and select the Add Note button here. Now you'll see that there is a date, time, and user stamp that displays who added this note and when. So you don't need to worry about detailing those details. it will capture it for you. I can review previous notes, and in some instances, depending again on permissions, because this is something set up by the program administrators, I may have the ability to delete notes if necessary. So if there's spelling issues or something that needs to get cleaned up, you can always hit the delete note button. Not everyone has the permissions to be able to delete notes. Okay, so that's notes. The last thing is how to access client records. So you have two options to do that. From this screen, where you saw I clicked once, it displayed this window, I can select View, and it would bring me to the client's record. If I wanted to go back over to Manage Clients, the other option is to just double click on any client that you'd like to open up. So here I'm going to double click on Wiley, and you'll notice I get to the same screen. Hope this helps to get you started in the ARM system, and we're looking forward to you completing the training.